The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. To the talk of Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Boy, we left lights on again, didn't we? We'll get that straightened out in a minute.
Yeah, my hair kind of blends in with the wall.
It does. Yeah. We're working on all these little technical difficulties at the new studio as we get going. What a day we had in weather yesterday. We had that little first round there, and then somewhere around lunch, the National Weather Service sees that it's getting ready to turn bad, and they upped the Meridian area from a 3 to a 4 on the scale of 5 being the worst, and it quickly became bad.
Because that's when y'all were expecting it to kind of start dying down. Right?
Yeah.
And then it just went
It just boom. And I was expecting, when I saw that, in all my little looking, it looked about 2:15, 2:30, but that was not the case. It came early.
Yeah.
And was on us before we were, I don't know how many hours we were on, but it was a lot. Had a few technical difficulties of things that got burned up, and it got down to where all I could show was the radar screen. But that's okay. That was the most important part of everybody being able to look at the radar as that storm got near us.
Yeah. We were at my mother's and got down in the storm shelter at one time because they were saying take cover. It was coming towards the Bailey area, and so we went ahead and went down there.
We've got some reports that we'll show you from those areas. Also this morning, a tragic accident has occurred Highway 45 south at Luther Walker Road. That's going to be near the Clarkdale community, a head-on collision. We don't know the condition or what the case is at this point. I'm just aware that there's a wreck there. So we hope that it's the best. If you live in that community, that's if you've heard all the sirens. I got several texts if I hear sirens, what is going on.
You said Luther Walker?
Yeah, Luther Walker Road. Down past on Highway 45, past going toward, right there at Clarkdale. We're close to where the school is, Luther Walker.
Okay. Goodness.
So we do pray that it's minor injuries is what we're hoping for. Yeah. Vicky Stewart, how are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of people up watching this morning. Jerome Lee, Donna White. Good morning.
And Jerome lives out in that Snowden Hills area, and boy, at the water.
There was so much. We were watching when we were at my mother's. We were watching from our Ring camera live shots of our house. That was kind of neat to be able to kind of keep up with what's going on. But our backyard looked like a pond at one time. I mean, it had like just big trenches of water through it. It was, lots of water fell. But.
No, Linda Atkins says she had 6.1 inches. Linda, what area are you from? That's a lot. The National Weather Service told us it could be anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. So you fall right in there of what they were telling us. 6 inches of rain. Let me tell you, that's a lot.
Yeah, the bridges also, like the creeks are so up high, like right under the bridges almost.
Well,
so
out, let me see if I can find this Bird Dorner Road. Here is the scene of Bird Dorner Road where they're replacing the bridge. Look how much water came down in that area. Now, I made a mistake when I first posted it. I want to straighten that out. That's not county equipment. That's a contractor's backhoe where they're out there working.
Let's hope it's not messed up. I mean, at least it didn't get up in the cab of it, you know.
Well, the rain come quick. Now, we've got several areas of just devastation. I know that there's a family, for sure, it could be more in Clarke County, that have lost everything. They're going to need clothing. If you happen to know what their sizes are, please let us know. And I wanted to play this. Our friends at Clarke County Hot Topics interviewed Sheriff Todd Kemp yesterday of Clarke County. I want to play this of what he says went on there in Clarke County, and then we'll start focusing on a few other areas there. Let's take a listen to what he has to say here.
Well, we had a major storm system push through this morning. Throughout the day, things progressively gotten worse. Here in the south part of the county, from about DeSoto all the way to the state line, we had a tornado touchdown. In places I know there was probably about a half a mile wide path. We have numerous structures on the ground, some of them totally destroyed. Thank goodness I have no reports of any injuries at this time, so that's a good thing. We can always replace property, but numerous power outages. It's going to be days before power is restored in most of these areas. But just a bad day. But thank goodness we got no loss of life.
And as Todd went on to tell us there that, you know, the main thing yesterday was not to get out and sightsee. They had enough to deal with there. But let's look at some more pictures of Clarke County. Let me show you this, Ken. This is, and, you know, you say, oh, well, pine trees are hurt. Well, that's a lot of times somebody's savings of their livelihood, of their retirement. Look at this of what we've got here, of these pines here in Clarke County. All right, let's go here. Now, this is a home that was totally destroyed in Clarke County. I mean, there's nothing left. That's unfortunate. How do you make it through that? I'm not sure if they were home, number one. But that's rough. There's nothing left. And as you look at this picture, as I always say, put on hard sole shoes. You see what I mean by this?
Right.
You step out, you can have a nail go through your foot if you got on a pair of tennis shoes, just like that. So
that's just devastating, though. That's
now another area that was hurt really, really bad would be out in the Hickory area. I know I was getting pictures from Eric over at the Red Goat, and then we find out that homes and things were tore up in that area also. And I was trying to think here. I thought I've got some stuff from Danny Todd that went out and reported some of this stuff that went on there in Clarke County. In Newton County. We'll get to that in just a moment. I had this sent in also yesterday as the storm, as you'll see in the picture in the background. This was from Meridian Kia, which is the 39 bypass. Look at this picture here. Look right back here. Let me click on that picture right there.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is.
So that's back towards, like, if you were looking at that, you would be looking towards North Hills area, maybe.
North Hills, toward West Lauderdale.
Yeah.
The northern end of town.
Right.
We were blessed with everything. I know of 5 they're surveying, and it possibly could be up to 7 different ones because we've got Tumsuba that was hit. We have, let's go here and take a look.
At one point, didn't y'all have like 3 storm systems at one time?
Yes.
In the same area almost?
This is Highway 19 South out toward the Wyandotte community. Let's look at this. This is where the Mississippi Highway Patrol pulled up on scenes at Crossroad. Look at that, completely blocked. And as we see there's some damage there, and we go here, and you'll relate to that. That's why you never want to stay in your camper.
Yeah, because they are a lot lighter than you think they are.
Yeah.
They can flip over in a hurry.
And boom, that was turned over quickly. And again, with all that we're telling you, fortunately, somehow no one was injured.
Thank goodness.
It was a blessing.
Yes.
Like I said, we'll get to some stuff. Danny, he went to several places throughout Newton County getting pictures and things. We'll share some of that here in just a moment as we go deeper into this. We also, and I think this one is cleaned up as we talked about the wreck there on Luther Walker Road. Let me show you in case you don't know where Luther Walker Road is as we'll look at this. Let me pull this up so everybody can see this. This is Luther Walker Road. Ooh, that's a little blurry. Let me back out on that. Luther Walker Road is right here. Back over here is Clarkdale High School. Right in here would be the Superette, and you come out on 45. Right there is where that accident happened. Okay. You've got a store on this corner over here. That is our situation that we've got this morning there. Now, we also had another wreck this morning. Let me see if I can find that. I'll have to go back to this. Let's see. Right on I-20. You remember where we had the accident yesterday with the 18-wheeler?
The log truck?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We had another wreck there this morning, there at the mile marker. Okay, Homer's running. Homer getting it.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Getting it. Jerome's one of my truck driving friends there. Go ahead, Jerome. But we did have a wreck there this morning that slowed traffic up. I don't think any major injuries with that. But again, held up traffic eastbound, headed toward Newton County out of Meridian is how that happened. So a few of the things that are going on. We got a lot more to talk about what happened yesterday. Now stay close. We'll be right back.
If you've got an outdoorsman on your Christmas list, make sure to drop into Garrett's. Quality pocket knives with the latest fishing gear of rod and reels.
Maybe it's a new set of binoculars or a new scope. With one of the largest selection of firearms, you're sure to find the one you need. Protect your investment with a Browning fireproof safe. With a large selection of deer condos, including the new style, the hay bale. Come by for a quick look. It's all at Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, your Christmas headquarters.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the crisp snow globes, nativity sets, and more. Gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Homes will be merry and bright with a custom wreath or centerpiece. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers, and it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Charm and beauty await your home. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Time to stop spending your entire weekend mowing grass. Step up to a Skag zero-turn lawnmower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
One button is not fixed yet.
Yeah.
My response time was not where it was supposed to be. We're getting that repaired.
Was that what I was supposed to
Supposed to elbow me, go
sorry.
hurry.
Well, I didn't know when you were going to do it, when you were going to hit the thing.
We have buttons that operate everything. I got one that during that crash yesterday, it went away. And my team did fix everything but that. We'll get that done today. Mike Rice sent this in, and we talk about alarms, and until you've been there and listened to it, he sent this in from downtown Meridian. This is right down from the sheriff's office when all the sirens started going off. Let me pull this up. This is sitting across from the old where Peavy's used to be on where it used to be Peavy's, and before that it was Winn-Dixie. That's set in that parking lot across the street, right there at the 18th Avenue Bridge. That's where that is. And as you listen to that and all that rain, and you hear the sirens in the background.
Yeah. It's just an eerie.
That was
feeling.
my words that I was going to use was that is very eerie of making you feel uneasy.
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness they do have emergency alerts like that you can, hear just about all over town, I think.
Yeah.
You should be able to, so.
We had, I'll briefly show you this picture when all of the tornado stuff, we had this little accident happen here on right downtown there on I-20 there. That was one of the wrecks that happened there.
That's bad.
Yeah, have mercy. So fortunately, at first they were scared that somebody was majoring. He was transferred to the hospital and ended up being okay. But golly. Now, some areas of concern that I wanted to mention overnight. North Hill Street. If you're in that area there, start checking. I've got to do some investigations this morning, but I did get a few reports of there could have been mischief in this area here. And when I say mischief, I mean as in people that want to take things that you have that's not theirs. So if you own a business on the North Hill Street, check things out. They were out and about last night walking around.
It's right over in our area where I work.
I even had somebody send me a text that said, "Hey, what's the cops doing over near Nelson Hall?" From what I understand, it was two people that thought they could get in, and the police kind of deterred that, and they went away pretty quickly. So this was an all-over event last night. Also had another place of interest. Go across the road from there. If you've got businesses, let me pull this up here. As I mentioned, Nelson Hall there, where they were kind of being where they shouldn't have been. Over in this area here, frontage road, 18th Avenue, right along in here. Check your businesses there. Again, I haven't had time to talk to everybody that I need to see if anything was actually taken.
Right.
But I do know that there were people in the area up to no good. As we learn more about that, we'll pass that information along to you.
They don't ever rest, do they?
No. Well, they probably sleep during the day.
Yeah, probably so.
I mean,
when they should be having like another job.
Yeah. Why would you do that when you can take somebody else works for you? I mean, come on, Candace.
Get a job job that you actually have to work for. Yeah.
What was that? It was a comedy skit about that job thing. What?
I don't know.
If I remember correctly, Saturday Night Live or
probably
whatever.
Eddie Murphy or something involved in it. He was always the funniest.
Maybe it was the Wayans brothers. When LaWanda, when she was always hunting a boyfriend, you got a job?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Ain't gonna be with me.
That's
you
right.
Got a job. Yeah.
She was, or him. I don't know how to word that.
Yeah.
A great character. Don't forget, we'll be doing what happened today in history coming up around 8:30 this morning. As we look at a few other things, important thing happened during all those storms as we were looking at this. We had mentioned last week, and I brought it up a little bit ago, Mississippi. At 6 p.m. last night, they started the process of the man who murdered a 16-year-old little girl. He would kidnap her and rape her for 4 hours before he killed her. Last night, he met his maker at 6:01. He was pronounced dead at 6:12 p.m. in the state of Mississippi. His name was Thomas London, Loden.
You know, I mean, I'm glad that they did do this, but I mean, I just think that was too good, too easy for him.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that's how they have to do things, but I just really wish things were different to where.
And I don't, I've never quite understood, and maybe it's just me, when this goes down, if something is wrong with one cord, the whole thing gets postponed.
Right.
And then it takes another year before them to schedule it back.
Yeah.
It would be me. Hang on a second. Let me plug this in. We'll get this. I don't know, but
they still do like the lethal injection?
That's how.
Yeah.
Yes. And then one of the other things that's been a big thing in the United States when it comes to lethal injections is wanting pastors there to touch them, to more or less hold their hands. And in the beginning, they weren't allowing that, but we're starting to see that is allowed, to where a pastor could touch and then proceed with the procedure. And of course, they're trying anything to keep from it happening.
Yeah.
Little did their victims ever get that compassion, and we all know that.
Right.
And again, yesterday we talked about this just for a moment. We did have 2 police officers that gave their life yesterday for the citizens of the state of Mississippi. They went to a call at the Six Motel in Bay St. Louis. It was a check on someone, a welfare check, as they word it. They talked to the woman for 30 minutes, Candace, 30 minutes. And at some point, and she had a child in the car with her. And at some point, she reaches down, pulls out a pistol, and shoots them both. One would die at the scene. Another would be rushed to the hospital. And I guess at that point, when she realized what she'd done, she turned the gun on herself and committed suicide at the scene. One of the cops or officers was 34 years old. The other was 23 years old. Now,
and the child sitting there watching the whole thing, I'm sure.
And I don't know the age of the child. I just know that there was a child in the car. And you look at this of pay scales of what these people go through to protect folks. They put a lot on the line for our lives for very little pay. If you do that job, it has nothing to do with money.
No,
it's about wanting to help others. And condolences to those families that are affected by it. It's a lot of people there. It's somebody that doesn't have a father now. It's somebody that doesn't have a husband anymore.
Well, even his fellow officers, I mean, that's a big loss too for them. And it's just a sad, sad situation.
Certainly is.
Goodness.
All right, let's see what else we've got going on around. Now, we've talked about dogs before. This happened up in Carroll County, Mississippi. Linemen, we all know them. They come by and work on power lines, and he was attacked by several pit bulls. He had to be rushed to a hospital. Pretty serious situation there. Can't imagine what he went through there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of controversy over, certain kinds of dogs and all
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff. There is, but we had the one that come in our yard and killed our cat like a couple of weeks ago, and that was awful and traumatic to the family and to everybody. But I was coming home just the other day, and there was another one just roaming around. It was another one I've never seen before, a pit bull just roaming up and right up the road from our home. Again, there's people that have kids playing in the yard, too. A lot of times, it's just scary. So.
And we looked at it; it's very dangerous, and we do feel for them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were in packs, if they were wild dogs.
Right.
We don't know the rest of the story, so to speak. Speak on that. I found this first clip of. I wanted to play this from Danny Todd from Twin States News. As they went out to Hickory yesterday, they were surveying damage. And there'll be more today after this rain has quit. And I've spoke with Lima. They're out today, this morning, surveying Lauderdale County as well. But I wanted to show you this clip here from out in the Hickory community. Let's go there and let Danny tell you a little bit about what happened there.
We are at Pleasant Ridge Road here in Hickory, Mississippi. And Hickory and Chunky are notoriously known for flooding. As you can see, this once empty pasture is slowly creeping to the roadway. We encourage everyone to be safe as they're out and about, and only get out if you have to. We are at...
We had several other reports from Danny throughout the day as we were tracking the weather, and we certainly appreciate that, him getting that to us. There's a lot of damage there for y'all, a lot of water there in Newton County.
A lot of times the creeks will get out and cause this kind of stuff too, I know ours did. That you showed with the excavator, I think that's what happened in that situation. That area is bad about flooding too. So,
a lot of water there. Another thing that we wanted to talk about in Newton County, there was an incident that happened there yesterday. Jody Pennington all over this of what went on there. We had someone shot yesterday. A male was rushed to the hospital. I've spoken to his sister, hopefully recovering very well. One person has been taken into custody, and we'll be talking with Sheriff Jody Pennington a little bit more about this in the coming days of when information can be released. No threat to anyone else. The situation has been handled. It most likely was some form, I'll word it, domestic to a degree. But we'll get more information from him coming up before long about what really went on there with the shooting there. What makes it just really amazes me of where people, the line, and back in the old days, and I say the old days, if somebody had a disagreement, usually the worst that could happen is they get into a brawl, a fist fight of some sort. At the end of the day, no one was seriously hurt, but they got the steam off. Nowadays, it's, let's do bodily. Yeah,
let's just take you out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it amounts to. And then a lot of times, I don't know. People just can't talk things out anymore.
No, you're right.
It's just like it doesn't even exist. Even though, you got an issue with somebody and I don't know, social media, you have to blast it to everybody, but why can't you just talk things out?
But this also goes a step further than what you just said there. This happens in marriages as well. So many people get married with the thought of, if I don't like you, I can divorce you.
Oh, yeah.
And within 6 months,
they
a
go
year.
into it with that attitude. Yeah. I know Kurt probably he wants to choke me sometimes, but I'm a talk it out type, person or whatever. If there's an issue, I believe in talking about it. I mean, don't just, get ill with somebody and walk off.
No wonder he's got so much cotton and he keeps in his ears, and he just goes, does the nod.
Lord.
But that has happened at some point in our society. And you look this over the last 3 to 5, 10 years. I don't know the exact, but I remember reading this to where marriages used to be huge in America. It's dropped below 50% now of marriages in America. That means family. And then you back up and you go, I wonder why our country's in a mess. Because folks don't have a father, they don't have a mother in one home with people to show them. When it's one person, and I know there are circumstances it can't be helped. Don't get me wrong on this, but parents, it works so much better to have one of each when possible. Guidance. When one person is working, you've got somebody else that can be with that child to show them and lead them in the right path.
But even when you have two parents, a lot of times it takes two parents, to make ends meet. Everybody's working, and it's just hard. I guess it's just, I don't know. Technology, though, a lot of times is a downfall. I mean, it's good to have. It really is. I think it's done a lot of good things for our society and our country, but it's also done a lot of, not so good things because kids have access to it.
Well, as you say that, back in the 50s, one person could work, make minimum wage, and support their family.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that no more. And that's why both families have grown to that. And I sometimes, and this is just speculation, forgive me for just speculating live here with you, but you have companies that the CEO gets a $20 million bonus at Christmas every year. That drives the price of everything up, which makes the common man can't afford it. Does frivolous lawsuits cause to this also? Yes. All of these factors go into every day. You think of somebody that owns a convenience store or owns a product, of the insurance and pricing they have to put into that to be able to make ends meet.
Right.
Oh, bless them. Ought to be a song about that. God bless the working man. Wait a minute. Travis Tritt did that, didn't he?
It's a hard time, though, for everybody, not just one or two people. I mean, it's everybody's having a hard time.
Look at that guy that got them 4 wives out there. One of them done left him now. Me, my wife, and 5 of them. He's on television. What's his name?
Oh, Sister Wife.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. I just know the name of the show. That's the craziest mess I've ever heard of.
Stud Muffin is what we call him. But one of them did. She backed out of it. I don't know if she's going.
Why would you even want to do that? I'm not talking about just the TV show. I'm talking about the situation.
All right, let me ask this because I really don't know. Supposedly, I think that happens in the state of Utah a lot.
I think so. What's it called? Polygamy? Is that what? Is that what? That's
and I asked this, and I honestly don't know the answer to this because I thought I knew the ansur, and I'm not sure. Is that legal? Can you?
Maybe it is.
I think the state only recognizes one marriage, but how do you? Can you be arrested for that?
I guess if it's
I'm
illegal,
just asking for a friend.
I don't know. I don't know. That's not something I'd choose. I don't think.
No,
even if I could, no.
If y'all remember, the Oak Ridge Boys had a song many years ago called "Trying to Love Two Women." It's like a ball and chain. One's got my heart, one's got my money. It's true, you can't satisfy that many people. I don't get the show, and I don't know if that's illegal or not. But just a thought there of what goes on out there outside of our little world here in the great state of Mississippi,
I think
Alabama.
if I found, you ever heard of people having like double lives or double, what do you call them? There's men who will marry a woman and they'll be married to somebody else because you remember that song "Sleeping Single in a Double Bed."
I do.
That's what he'd be doing.
That's right, he did. But that goes back to the encyclopedia man. He'd leave town and have several families in different areas.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know how you balance all that.
That's right. Obviously, they did not have Life 360 back.
No, they did not. Lindsay said, technically, no, you can't have more than one spouse, but the law is not strictly enforced either. Good point on that. We see in Hinds County yesterday during all that bad weather that a deputy was responding to a scene. He had a wreck, lost control, hit a light pole. He's going to be okay. He was rushed for health, for medical attention to a local hospital in Jackson. He's going to be all right, but whoo, there was nothing left of the Tahoe that he was driving, wrapped it around a light pole. And they have to do their job, but that's why we always say, boy, if you can wait it out, don't drive in that stuff when it hits.
It's bad. You can't even see sometimes when the rain's so heavy.
It is. I never watched this show ever. I did walk by on television or two, or have to be in a doctor's office, and it would be on Ellen DeGeneres. I think a lot of us, me and her views, she was funny, I think, but me and her views didn't align. But the guy that was in charge of her music and done all of that has passed away. He was known, what was his name? Twitch, I think is what they called him.
I remember
Stephen Boss.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on there.
He passed away, and as we dig deeper into this, I believe he committed suicide. 40 years old.
Goodness.
So condolence. CNN reporting that this morning. One of the things that are happening there. Condolences to that family.
That's so sad.
Tough. We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Candace as we start your morning. Honeysuckles on North Hill Street is bringing the Christmas cheer to you this year. And don't forget to order your Christmas centerpiece today. A great way to light up your table. They have hand-painted ornaments brought in from Poland, and they make great Christmas gifts and heirlooms. They carry the complete line of Satterfield pottery, and that's made in Oxford, Mississippi. And don't forget about the fresh wreaths and garlands that are available. Order yours now. Honeysuckles, 2626 North Hill Street. Gifts for the holiday season.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
If you're looking for a deal, go to Facebook and type in East Mississippi Online Marketplace. Scroll through all of the pictures that are there and pick the item that you want to bid on. Bids end on Wednesday night and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And the winning bid can pick up the product the next day. Again, it's easy to do. Go to Facebook, type in East Mississippi Online Marketplace, and find the items that you want to bid on and save a bunch of money. That's 2 different auctions, Wednesday and Sunday night. Both sales end at 8 p.m. Well, our friends over at Farm Supply, Lauderdale County Farm Supply, are there. They opened up this morning at 7:30, and they got just about anything that you're looking for Christmas.
I love this fire pit.
Yeah. Sit out back, enjoy yourself there. If you're needing those last-minute Christmas items, they got that over at the gift shop. Maybe you need, a special ornament. They got those as well. See them. A lot of porches and swings.
Yeah.
Those are great for that.
Oh,
Relaxing.
Yeah. Those are nice. They really are. And then the gift shop, if you haven't decorated for Christmas or if you're still decorating for Christmas, they got plenty of stuff to help you out.
And you call that a poinsettia, don't you?
Yes.
Beautiful.
I love them.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
isn't it?
They are beautiful.
And, of course, all of the trees and things you might need, from sunglasses to toboggans. And you're going to need those over the next few days, y'all.
That's right. They have the Costa sunglasses.
Yeah. Anything deer hunting, from boots to, taking care of your horse and cattle. See them today. You'll find it all right there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off the interstate. Drop in and visit with them. They'll tell you more about everything that they got and help you locate what you need.
So speaking of going to need toboggans, it's going to be cold, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it certainly is.
Goodness. I'm glad we're going to have a cold Christmas, though. I mean, it just makes it seem right to have cold Christmas, not, wearing shorts or something like we had before.
As we pull this up and you take a look here, what we got going on here. This week, we're not out of the 50s at all. Right through there, Sunday, we get down to the 30s. But let's jump ahead here as we get here to the 24th and Friday the 23rd, a high of 32 degrees. And on Christmas Eve, a high of 37 degrees. So y'all paying attention to that? Burr.
Do we have any chance for a little snow?
We did, but they've taken it out of the forecast now. The forecasters seem to think that we really didn't need that.
Well, dang. I thought we'd get a little bit.
We'll see. It could always come back. It's Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't you have a birthday?
Yes, we did. Winford Cole wants to wish his wife, Peggy Cole, a very happy birthday. So I hope she has a great one.
Let's go back and take a look at a few things that happened on history on this day. It was 1939. It was a humongous big day in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. Why? Vivian Lee had just landed, and Clark Gable landed a couple hours later, and he would be making his way downtown. Why? Well, Gone with the Wind would premiere tonight in downtown Atlanta. It was a big turnout. Everybody was in town for the event. One of the big...
Yeah, the big love affair between Rhett and Scarlett.
Scarlett, she was. Glenn Miller. Anybody remember Glenn Miller? He was a big band. Well, he come up missing on this date. He disappeared. For his time, he was somebody that was really, really big. Now, of all the comedians that have ever taken a stage, I got to say this next guy.
I grew up watching him. He's hilarious.
Mr. Tudball.
Oh, yeah.
And many, many others, as we go back to remember. Tim Conway was born on this date, and you'll remember him from the Carol Burnett show. He would be hard to beat of just being funny and clean.
Oh, yeah. That's back in the day when you could really watch and let your kids watch. Not really worry about it much. They always were hilarious. What was the character he played where he had real short legs and, obviously they had him in the floor.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And he would act like he was trying to play golf.
I know.
That was so funny. I can't remember what his name was. The
And
character.
was it the other guy? Because I remember I watched this morning. I was looking back at that where he done the dentist scene.
Oh, yeah.
It was Harvey Korman.
Yeah.
Those
Yes.
two.
And they would start laughing every time. Well, Tim Conway could pretty much keep his poise when he was trying to do a skit, but the Harvey guy every time couldn't keep from laughing. I mean, it was just
Now,
so
Denise
funny.
brought up the elephant story. I don't remember watching that with him, Tim Conway and the elephant story. I may have to go back and look it up.
I don't know.
Woo.
Yeah. I got to pull that up and start watching that more in the evening because we have the little Roku thing, and one whole channel is dedicated to the Carol Burnett show. So we can watch all the episodes. I got to do that. It's funny.
Let's see here. Let's go back. 1944, as they always say, behind every great man, there's a woman that's even greater. Well, sometimes it's a pushy woman. She's mean, but she gets her point across and really helps a man even when he doesn't know that she helps him. He's still attracted to her. He still loves her. She's just mean to him. What am I talking about? Audrey. Hank married Audrey on this date back in 1944. They would stay together as long as they could handle it. And
She tried to keep him in line.
and no matter what you say, she truly was the, what is it where you say catapult someone? If it had not been for her being pushy and going to Nashville with him and going into Fred Rose and slapping him around a little bit, Hank may not have ever got that record deal. We don't know. But she was a strong woman, and she really was the inspiration for many, many songs. Your cold, cold heart. Whew. Strong stuff. You don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all sit back and look that up on YouTube today. Find out what it was. This man would probably cry today if he were to wake up and walk around and see what his company has become. One of the greatest that ever had an imagination when it comes to film and told so many great stories back in the day. Yeah. Passed away on this date. Walt Disney died at the age of 65. Rare.
1966.
That was truly very young when you look at the big scheme of things of him passing away.
But even back then, he built an empire, Yeah,
really he did.
With it. So, and it has come, I mean, it's gotten like twice as big, but yeah, they have turned it around to be something he probably would not be so proud of.
Now, do you watch Yellowstone?
Sometimes.
Right. And I watched 5 minutes of it, but I had more work to go do, and I couldn't stay. And I told Angie to hit the record button because I want to go back and see this. But as Yellowstone comes on, they've been using this here lately as soon as it goes off to premiere other shows that they want to be big. That Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone looks really good. And then there's this love story that they're doing right now, and it's called George and Tammy, and I'm dying to watch it.
Okay, well, that came on the other night, and I think we didn't watch but just a few minutes of it.
Was it good?
I don't even know. I mean, I didn't really even get to watch it. So
I saw 3 to 4 minutes of it, and it hooked me. What I saw that 3 minutes. But I had to go because I had so much work to get done that night. But today was the day that Tammy walked in, and she recorded this song. Till I can make it on my own. Why? Well, her and George were divorcing, and it really struck with America of what she was going to. She really painted the picture of a woman. She'll need time to make it her own. She might have to cry on his shoulder a little bit there. Whew.
She was a hairdresser.
She was.
Yeah.
Birmingham, Alabama is where she was cutting hair. I think she was originally from Mississippi.
Okay.
We have so much talent in our state.
We really do.
And but Tammy, and that looks to be a great show. Anybody remember 1979? It was the year that I would see. Wasn't that the year that Friday night our lives would change? That the Dukes of Hazzard would come on. We'd see this old orange car flying through the air. I was hooked. We would also be the same year that this guy would be on TV Guide, the Fonz. He really had a way with women and jukeboxes, didn't he?
He did.
He could just hit it.
I know.
And it'd play whatever.
Yeah, that was a classic.
And little Richie there tried to, and and I saw something the other day, and I had to really scratch my head. I had forgotten all about when that show first began of Happy Days that Richie had a brother. And it wasn't the first one or two episodes.
Yeah, you didn't see him a whole lot, not as much as you did.
Joni.
Yeah, Joni.
What was the little preppy dude's name? The dark-headed guy. that sang all the time?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You know, the dark-headed guy.
Potsy. What? That was Potsy.
Okay, Ralph Malph was Potsy's was the singer, and Ralph Malph was the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm straight now. Thank y'all. 1988, they were after this guy. He'd done so many things, and it didn't matter how big a celebrity he got. Well, he had to go to jail today. Who am I talking about? James Brown was locked up. He was inmate 155-413 at the State Park Correctional Institution in South Carolina. He did his time, and he would eventually get out. I think that was the time that they might have threw the blue lights on for him to turn over, and he just mashed that gas a little bit more. A little chase that went on.
Gosh.
Now, this was such a sad movie, and it's so hard to believe that it's been that long ago. 1993. Do you remember that year?
Yeah. I had just a year before graduated high school.
Ooh, I'd been married about 3 years then. How time flies. This movie hit theaters on this date. Schindler's List. Strong movie. A lot of people love that, but a touching movie as well. Now, I need to do this. You ever always think back of, I need to watch that because I've heard so many great things about this, and maybe it was the title that threw me off, and I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But today on this date, it was released, and I never watched it.
I watched snippets of it.
Is it good what you saw?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Does it have something to do with boxing?
Yeah, she was a boxer.
Okay.
And then, if I can remember correctly, I think maybe Morgan Freeman was the help to train her or something. I'm not real sure. But I only watched snippets of it, but it was pretty good. I think it's something I'd want to go back and watch again and watch the whole thing. So,
what was the day that I realized that country music was no longer country? Well, it was probably this date back in 2014 where I scratched my head and said, well, that's not for me anymore, as we see this new song, Girl Crush, being released to country radio.
I do not like that song. 2 of those are married. One of the guys and girls on that group is married. I can't remember which one.
And yes, the title gives away what the song is about. In country music, I might add. Which used to be all wholesome stuff there. Occasionally we had songs about good cheating things, hanging out at the Lincoln Park Motel, and good stuff like that.
It's just
Thank you, Ken Rainey, for really directing my life.
No, that song is, I don't know. It's just a twisted. It's twisted. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. We don't know much more to say about that. We'll let you fill in the blanks and let you think about that. Way different there, but I just didn't see that happening to country music. I totally.
We could have done without it.
It caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie there. So, well, there you go. That's what went on with that. That's a look at back in today's history of what went on. Let's talk about my friend Chet. He's been hard at it. And if your car got a little damage yesterday from a limb or two, they'd like to see you. Come on by. They can fix you up. Maybe you've been involved in a fender bender of some sort. Chet's Paint and Body, they do kind of like Humpty Dumpty. They put it all back together again. They're good at what they do. They match paint like no one else. Makes your car look like it did before it was brought in. Whether you've been sideswiped at a red light, maybe somebody ran one, maybe you backed into something, or, well, front end damage. That happens also. One of the most common places to a car. They can fix all of that and make it look new again. From their paint booth to a classic car, they fix it right and they do it right the first time. You can depend on them because their word is gold. See them again. That's Chet's Paint and Body. They're located out on Highway 495. See our friend Chet. He'll take care of you.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical, 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian, 601-693-6374.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Welcome back. Scotty Ray Report. It is Thursday as we get our lives back together. I hope you got a smile like we do.
We're going to have to move the clipboard.
I'm dropping my clipboard everywhere this morning.
It's
I
okay.
had important things to say
It's right there
from
where
that.
your hand keeps bumping it.
It's I don't know who is. I bring this up because I don't know who's going to pay for it. I assume it's the taxpayers of France. Is they're getting ready to offer anybody 18 years old. And it's a defined age limit. If you're over 26, it's just too bad for you. But from the ages of 18 to 25, they're going to offer free. Is it birth control that I'm a form?
Contraceptive.
Yeah, that word to everybody in the country.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're through with that news story, aren't we? Yep. Don't know what to say. Let's move on. They've arrested the guy. Remember all of this talk of that crypto money, Bitcoin and all that? Sam.
The young guy?
Yeah, Sam
Yes.
Bankman.
Yeah, the little young guy that was shut up in the Bahamas over there after he done kind of like taking everybody's money.
Mm-hmm. He's singing a Jimmy Rogers song today. He's in the jailhouse now. They've arrested him and put him in one of the worst prisons that you can be in over there. Word is he's hid over $300 million somewhere in a bank account where nobody knows it is.
He better start singing.
No word yet on all these celebrities that were endorsing his product. It's a lot of people that are going to lose some life fortunes as we look at this. Not sure that this is true as we look at headlines. It may be, but as they're starting to show that polls are showing that Ron DeSantis, however you pronounce his last name, has moved ahead of Trump in the polls.
Today, did you hear that Trump's going to make an announcement today?
Missed that
Another
one.
major announcement today. Now, I was listening to a talk radio yesterday evening, and I think it was Joe Pags was talking about it, and that he's going to make a major announcement. And they just kept trying to figure out what could it be.
Is it? Wait a minute. He has a lot to do with boxing. Do you think it's possible him and Ron are going to do a boxing?
I doubt it.
Come on. Maybe him and Nancy.
I don't know. I doubt it, but he probably would want to. I don't know. But no, it's supposedly he says that America needs a hero, and he's going to make an announcement about that today.
Let's hope it's good. We'll find out what that is later.
Look,
but
you know,
what?
Joe Pags said, I don't know what it could be. He said, I mean, unless he was going to announce that he was going to try to get Speaker of the House. He did say that. He said
Ain't happening.
Yeah. But I don't know what it could be, unless he might be, wanting to say who he might run with.
That I could see that being a part of it.
But I don't know.
But they spent the last 6 to 8 years now telling you how bad he is, and is it working? We don't know.
Yeah.
The Pope is, and I don't always agree with our current Pope. He seems kind of liberal to me. To where there's I always look at the man that wears the cloth in the middle, and he sometimes seems to be hanging out over here, but he is saying that y'all be ready that more bad things are coming in the world. Death and destruction, dissolution for mankind. Woo! Pope's using some strong words there.
Yeah.
Is this health okay? Have you heard anything about that lately?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that he does kind of have some liberal views. It seems like maybe he's okay with some things that the Bible just kind of preaches against.
I listened to a sermon not long ago. No matter how old that book is, you really can't change what it says. It's
right.
The facts. Imagine that.
Right.
America. Now, I didn't realize that there were stores that sold this in America, but I know there's like the day old bread store. I've always heard of that.
The bread store.
But apparently across America in different cities, they have stores that have canned foods that are either right at expiration or about close to it, that they sell the food for a discount. And they say that tons of Americans are turning now to expired food to save money to make ends meet. But Joe tells us everything is okay. It really can't be happening, can it, Candace?
Yeah.
No, we've all got extra change in our pockets.
I feel like he kind of lives in another world, at times, or most of the time.
He makes it. He's waking up in Barney's world.
Maybe somebody's telling him it's okay, and so he believes it.
Maybe. Oh boy, this is a bad thing here happening. Elon has lost the title of the world's richest man. He slumped. That's because his Telsa stock took a dip there. It lost about $100 million. Oh, maybe a billion. It's a lot of money. But
170 billion. Yeah.
Can y'all imagine that kind of money? But rest assured that it'll big back up and he'll probably be the world's richest man again. But he's taking a little slump today. Kind of bad there. But I don't take him as somebody that really worries him either.
Yeah, I doubt he's worried too much about that. So,
we'll pay close
I don't
attention.
think it's probably a drop in the bucket to him. So,
yeah, there's a lot.
Let's take $1 million. I mean, that'd be nice.
Elon, as he took over this, is just really, really bothering people with his Twitter when he bought it. And he's having an auction, and he's getting rid of everything that he considers woke in the office to espresso machines that cost $20,000. Going to auction all this stuff off.
Yeah.
An espresso machine that costs $20,000? I mean, come on.
Auctioning off, what does it say? The Twitter bird statue.
Yeah, that was an
planner shaped like the at symbol. A planner.
Yeah.
Chairs.
You go down through here. Let me just show you. Who would want this in their office?
Like, who would want this?
We go to Daily Mail. They put a picture of that. Who would really want that picture? I mean, that whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're on your school.
Joe might want it for the Green New Deal.
Look, I'm not lying to y'all.
At the White House.
People that think this.
Yeah. I've been hit the table too.
They're running our school boards and our systems behind the scenes, and you wonder why we're in the shape we're in. I just thought. Condolences once again as we think back on our Mississippi State football coach. Died at the age of 61. A heart attack, was rushed to Jackson, Mississippi. He passed away in pieces. His family and friends gathered around. Tragic. We pray for them.
Yes. I know it's tragic, and it's just was so sudden,
It was.
I mean, just stuff like that.
The bowl game coming up, I'm sure he'll be remembered, and they'll make some type of big presentation for him on that. We find out a little bit more about Tina Turner's son that was 62 that passed away. It was colon cancer that got him. I hear a lot of, that got Kirstie Alley, doesn't it? Isn't that what she died of?
Yeah. It, a lot of times people will have signs of it and they just kind of disregard it as to maybe being something else or and they don't get their screening. It is very important to get the colonoscopy, screening. I know that it's not a pleasant thing, but it is very important to get that done.
Yeah.
Everybody should have that checked. Really, seriously. My mother had colon cancer, and so I had to get checked. The doctor told me that to count back 10 years from the diagnosis age of her, and that's when I need. And so,
Candace, we'll be right back. I'll pay attention to what she's saying.
The Square Peg Mini Mall is located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, and they're getting ready for the Christmas season with a large variety of furniture and over 30 vendors to browse through. You can take advantage of the layaway on furniture and not pick it up until Christmas Eve. The inventory is constantly updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Family owned and operated, where they treat you like family. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall located at 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
And welcome back as we talk about our friends at Maple's One Stop Shop. Boy, they already out there cleaning today, taking care of things, getting breakfast ready for you. Ham, biscuits. Woo.
Looks so good.
It does. Everybody needs a little grits. They've got all that for you out at Causeyville at their St. Paul store there on 31st Avenue. See them. They'll help you there and describe all this good food that they've got. Maybe you need lunch. Get two meats, a meat and two vegetables and a drink for about $8.99. Affordable it is.
Yes.
Coffee program, cold drinks, chips. It all happens there. Maybe you need a lottery ticket. Maybe you need some ice cream or a piece of pizza. It's one location, 6 locations actually, as I said that wrong, scattered across town from Pine Springs, Bonita, over at Causeyville, to our friends at the 31st in Broadmoor, and Last Chance Tobacco out on Highway 493. Drop into any of those locations and, well, they'll get you something you really want there.
That's right.
Already 8:55. We got a couple of minutes left before they'll go back to regular programming here. Let's see what else we've had going on across America that we needed to talk about. Children in New Zealand, they're going to make it to where beginning in after the age of 2009, you cannot smoke legally in the country. They're doing away with smoking, period.
Yeah, if they were born after 2009,
Yeah.
they'll it'll be against the law if
Can
they
you
smoke.
do that? Well, I
don't know.
I
I
don't
wish
think you
they-
could in America,
Yeah,
regardless of whether you like it or not. That
right.
that seems like that should be your right to choose if you wanted to.
Banning cigarettes. I know they banned the smoking in restaurants years back. I'm kind of glad that went through because I didn't like sitting there trying to have a meal. But with
Some folks don't bother. Some people it does.
right.
But that's the way that is. Don't forget the Christmas parade coming up this weekend, downtown Meridian, Mississippi. We'll be there as soon as I call Larry Gill. Thank y'all so much for dropping by and spending a little time with us today. We'll be back tomorrow morning, won't we?
That's right, at 8 a.m. sharp. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: